Hello. Trying something new today. I'm on live on YouTube and I'm on live on TikTok. It's kind of cool actually seeing me double. But hello, hello, hello. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. Welcome in. So I'm actually had a long morning this morning and then I'm gonna go work out, but I wanted to hop on with you guys. And well, number one, I haven't been on in a couple of days, but number two, I wanted to talk about I'm just getting adjusted here to make sure it's not too windy. Okay, I'm on live on 2 different platforms. Let's get adjusted here. You guys just have to bear with me during my adjustment time. Why is this one so bright? Hello. I just feel like this one is just like extra. Just like really, really, really bright. Hello, hello, hello. Okay, well this is just gonna have to do. I'm on live on two different phones. Okay. I think we're fine now. Bear with me, I'm just getting adjusted here. Okay. Where's my tea? Oh, of course my tea's up there right when I sit down. All right, guys, so I've been working all day. I'm on lunch and then I'm gonna go work out. So so if you see me going back and forth, it's because I have 2 different platforms going at the same time, 2 different live streams going on at the same time. I actually looked up the ability to live stream with TikTok and YouTube, but they don't have that. They only have it for like Facebook Live and YouTube and like just other platforms. So hopefully when TikTok, I don't know, when that ability comes about, then I'll be able to go on live with both. So I'll just wait for a couple more of you guys to hop on. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome in. As you guys are coming in, make sure you guys are liking the video. Make sure you guys are sharing. Make sure you guys are, and I hope that my service is good. Because I'm by the window and I live near mountains and sometimes like the service gets weird. So hello, hello, hello. Welcome in, welcome in. Make sure you guys are liking for, YouTube's like, what are you doing? But TikTok, make sure you guys are liking. Make sure you guys are following as you guys come in. So hello on YouTube, hello on TikTok. I'm so happy you guys are joining me today. And if you guys want to stay in for this chat, definitely do it. It's going to be a good one. So it's a really good topic in regard to even like the time of year that it is. Happy Valentine's Day. Oh yeah, happy Valentine's Day, guys. Anyone doing anything special for Valentine's Day? Let me know. Let me know. Let me know in the chat. Let me know. Also, I want, this is more than open to be interactive. So the topic is to literally stop caring about what people think and the amount of missed opportunities that you go through with caring about what people think. Okay. So let's see. Let's put the past behind you and go away for nobody to find us. Oh, sweet. What else are you guys doing for Valentine's Day? Any nice plans? Any nice plans? Make sure you guys are following as you guys come in. But yes, so I'm just going to jump right into it. Number one, I always am drinking some kind of tea throughout the entire day. So whether it's like a tea with an actual tea bag, or I just make my own concoction, whether it's like mint, lemon, turmeric, ginger, slicing up all kinds of just yummy, delicious, like different herbs and putting it in just some hot water and drinking on it throughout the day. Really good for your digestive system. It's really good for your immune system. It's great for your metabolism, all the isms. It's really good for all of them. So just make sure, just stay hydrated throughout the day. Don't forget that. But I wanted to, I felt it really heavy on my heart to get on here and talk about the topic of stop caring about what other people think. And the amount of times, because I've been a manager for many, many years. I got out of corporate like 7 years ago at this point, but I was in corporate for about 10 years, doing a lot of management, a lot of coaching and development, a lot of leadership stuff. And then even after that, I was still in leadership positions or executive positions. Even right now, I'm on the executive board for a charity called Africake. So there's just a lot of either teams, groups, corporate, where I've been training and developing people. And even my own like friends, family, you know, my sphere of people, when I talk to them, and just, you know, again, even myself, so I'm in this as well. But because I'm usually like the go-to person, I notice a theme. And the theme is people really still care about what people think. And they care about what people think from the wrong people. Like, it's understandable. It makes sense if you are caring about what your coach thinks because you're, you know, I don't know, you're in D1 sports in college, and obviously your coach needs to, like, you care about what your coach thinks about your performance, right? Or, you know, I don't know, like, there's obviously instances where we care about what people think, but in general, when we have a desire, a hope, a dream, a passion that we want to go after, maybe starting a YouTube, if you want to start traveling, if you want to do something that people aren't used to us doing, all of a sudden, it's like it's a few different layers. People either come at it from a place of just like genuinely wanting to protect you from yourself, or they're just haters. So both exist. I know that not everybody is always out to get you, but then there is a few that, you know, underlying are. But in general, the main point is that it's rare when there's a group of people that really are just going to say, yeah, go for it, when they're so used to you doing a particular kind of thing. So if they're used to seeing you at a desk job, if they're used to seeing you work at the bank, if they're used to seeing you work at a cell phone store, if they're used to seeing you pack groceries at the grocery store, if they're used to seeing you work at the drive-through, they just are comfortable seeing you like that. And it's easy, it's safe. You know, you get a paycheck every 2 weeks and everything's fine. But, you know, a lot of times those types of jobs, not for everybody. Some people thrive and love like the consistency of like that type of 9 to 5 grind. But then others are like, this is just a stepping stone. And then all of a sudden, when you're ready to get out of that stepping stone, like you're ready to literally like go on to the next stone, people are like, oh, well, wait a minute, are you sure? Well, what are you going to do for X, Y, and Z? Well, what if this happens? What if you run out of money? What if you fail? Are you sure? Like, maybe you should wait a little bit longer. Like, they just start kind of putting doubts in your mind. And it's already hard enough to even muster up the courage yourself to even do the thing, right? Like, to even decide, like, you know what, maybe I do want to get into painting, or maybe I want to get into, you know, being a sports broadcaster. Maybe I want to get into, you know, whatever it is. Like, you're allowed to make a pivot. And even mustering up the courage to even admit to yourself that you want to do a pivot. Also, I'm going to pause really quick. Make sure you guys are liking as you guys are coming in. Make sure you guys are also following. I do a lot of live mini trainings like this. But yeah, you know, it's already takes a lot of courage, and then you finally get the courage, and then you get shut down, and it just like reinforces all the little nuances that you already had about the thing that you want to do. Okay, so the amount of times I've seen missed opportunities, wasted time, from overthinking, caring about what people think. Literally, if the next sentence that comes out of your mouth is, but what if da 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 da, but what are they gonna say? But what are they gonna think about? If you're doing that, I'm gonna highly encourage you to go back to your journal, back to your either reading a book, back to meditation, back to church, whatever you use to reflect, and really understand like why do you care so much? Right? Like, do you care more about what people think? Because this is the funny thing about it. So you announce that you want to do this thing. You don't really get a lot of encouragement about it. And then you're discouraged. Or you may want to do the thing, and then you're like telling someone else, and they are encouraging you. And then you rebuttal it by saying, but what if, but what are they going to say? But da 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 da. What ends up happening is, what people don't really realize is that life is just continuing to move forward. So even if somebody does really say, yeah, you know, I don't know, are you sure about that? And then it makes you feel kind of funny or makes you feel kind of weird. They're going to go on about their lunch. You guys are going to, let's just say you guys are talking over lunch. You guys are going to separate, right? And then they're going to move on with their day, doing their passions and desires. And then you're just sitting there left feeling like back to ground zero, right? Of just like, dang, I really wish I would have just went for it. Hold on really quick pause. Make sure you guys are following and liking. Make sure you guys are following and liking. Okay, I'm back. Right, guys? So yeah, that's the funny thing about how life works with this situation, because you could be, um, you know, you're over here caring what they think or caring about their opinion, right? And then all of a sudden, they're announcing, oh, guess what? I just launched my new business, and you're like, but wait a minute, like you weren't really like excited when I wanted to launch a business. Now you launched yours, so you don't want to. Let me know. Has anyone ever experienced this? Are you guys feeling what I'm saying? Have you guys been in this situation before? Let me know. Put a thumbs up in the chat if you guys have. But it's time in 2023 to just go after whatever you want to do. Make whatever pivot you want to make. Quit something that you want to quit, that you hate, you're repelled by doing anymore, right? Like if you don't want to do something, or if you do want to launch something, like whatever your desires are, just start. Okay, just start. The biggest thing, I think I think people really fail to realize when they care about what people think, is that it's kind of sad that people have that much power over you. Like if you really sit there and think about it, like the fact that someone can say, oh really, you sure you want to get into that? Okay. And then it just shuts all your hopes and dreams down. You really got to sit and analyze sit down with yourself and say, okay, like, do I not really want that thing? Do I not really have this desire? Because really the desire should be so heavy on your heart to where it doesn't even matter. So like, for example, hello, happy Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day. Also make sure you guys are liking as you guys come in. Make sure you guys are sharing. Make sure you guys are liking, sharing. So I have just many conversations, and especially this gets hard with family too. Like especially if you want to say something and then, you know, a sibling's going to shut you down, or a parent, or a aunt, or an uncle, or a cousin, or someone that you actually really like look up to, and you're like, well, what are they going to say? What are they going to do? Hello, happy Valentine's Day. Life is just too short. That's just a flat out truth. Not to get super deep, super quick and just pivot to the deeper layer, but that's really just the truth. The more you are literally wasting minutes on the planet talking yourself out of something that you really desire to do, caring about what others think, taking everything just to the next level of doubt, right? Like just taking it all, the doubt. And meanwhile, other people are over there not caring about what you think. And then you're sitting there like 6 months from now, they've done the thing, and then you're sitting there still twiddling your fingers, twiddling your thumbs. And you're going to their celebration dinner, right? So let me know, like give me a thumbs up, let me know if you guys have gone through this. Hey, news flash of good news, right? So it's just time, guys. If you are somebody that is dealing with just a lot of self-doubt, a lot of self-sabotage, it's time to dig in deeper and figure out where that's coming from. Okay? It's time to figure out where that's coming from. And if anyone is, comfortable sharing maybe a time that they've gone through exactly what I'm talking about, but another human being's words should not pierce you so much to where it knocks you off course. And if it is, then it's time to do some self-reflection. It's time to take a couple steps back. People are going to be like, okay, I think that that's a bad idea. But outside of those things, like danger and things like that, if it's something that you really want to do, number one, you don't have to get everyone's validation. You don't have to make announcements about it. Like, it doesn't have to be this, like, guess what, guys, I am now doing this. Right? Because what you're really doing is still seeking the validation. You're still seeking some kind of support. You got to be so definitive in your mind about what you're trying to do. Okay? Whether it's a pivot in career, going hard with the passion, starting those singing lessons, starting to play the drums, going on a solo trip for the first time, getting on a plane for the first time, like whatever that thing is, starting your clothing store, starting your t-shirt line, starting your, online business, whatever. Or even if it's like you really do love your job and you want to get promoted, and other people are like, well, you should just get out of that job, it's so stressful, and you're like, you know what, it's stressful, but I like the challenge and I want to move up. Like, you got to just get so crystal clear that you don't even have to make an announcement, and then all of a sudden people just see you pop up with whatever it is. Right? So, like, for example, I've even done that. Like, I love training and developing people. I love helping people get to their next level. I love helping people just figure out their why behind things, getting deeper, digging past like the surface layers, and really just getting to the point of like truly figuring out what's best for them, and like getting past the anxiety of self-doubt and self-sabotage and all that, right? So hello, make sure you guys are liking as you guys are coming in. Make sure you guys are subscribing and following. I have both YouTube and TikTok going on at the same time. But yeah, you have to just really sit with yourself. And you said I needed this. Yeah, I mean, we all, it's a very real thing. And I think why I wanted to talk about it today is because I just noticed that it's a theme, like amongst many people, like from different backgrounds, different groups, different age groups. It's like we just have this thing about caring about what other people think, and then the few little outliers that don't care about what people think are over there soaring off, right? They're the ones that aren't, they don't care about being embarrassed for a hot second while they're trying to be on this path of like greatness or whatever they're trying to do. They don't care about failing in public. They don't care about messing up a little bit. They don't care about having people watch them fail for a second, right? Like, because they're viewing it like, well, every failure is just me getting closer to finding the right way to do this. Like, that's how they view it. And then you're over there like, I failed once and I'm just done. Or I said something once and I'm just done. Or I had that idea and someone just did this, like, and then I'm just done. So you got to be just so on point with what you want for your life that literally, like, the closest human being to you could say, I don't think you should do it, and it wouldn't even faze you. So that comes with like inner work, meditation, journaling, and just really figuring out your why. So like I've already said my story. I'm just reading your guys' comments. It's the media that will drive you to think like that. Absolutely. The media, but you know what? I'm gonna do a quick little pushback on that, because I think that our consciousness has evolved enough. Like, social media has been around long enough. Modern society has been operating in this particular way long enough to where it's like the fact that we know that it's conditioning us should make us know that we need to get back in control, right? Like we're aware what it's doing. So like that means we have accountability. Like we're no longer like these innocent children in it anymore. Like meaning like I don't mean physically children, like kind of like, you know, when a child like literally doesn't know, right? Because like they still need time, they're learning, they're growing. But then like when they know that they got to clean up their room, or they know how to, or they're big enough to clean up their room, right? Or like if we know that the McDonald's being placed on every single corner is going to make us want to get french fries every time, like we know what it's doing, so like we should be conscious enough to like rise above it, right? Rise above the craving, continue to drive past the McDonald's. So I hope that makes sense. Like I could probably come up with some better examples, but yeah, it's the media, all that, and on the flip side, there's so many amazing resources from the media also, of like self-help, self-development, starting your own business, starting your own LLC, learning how to code, learning how to build your own website, learning how to do all these different things. So it's like you gotta almost like, it's like we now know the rules of the game, so now we just gotta play it right. And we live in a time where you literally really can do anything that you want and like be able to figure it out. Like maybe 10-15 years ago there was some trailblazers that like kind of had to do it first, had to take the leap. But now it's like the amount of millionaires that are popping up every single day, you know, I mean, and there's people pivoting in their 50s, 60s, and 70s. Like it's almost like anything that someone says doesn't exist, like, oh no, you can't do that. Literally Google that exact thing that someone said you can't do and it will pop up. There hasn't been one thing yet that I haven't been able to find. It says, I'm just gonna read you guys. It says you're right about you're right about that once you, oh, sorry, it disappeared. You're right about that. Once you locate that it's social media that's driving you to do things that you wouldn't do, should back up and start goals. Get into, yes, exactly. This one, it says woke up kinda or better informed. So, you know, at the end of the day, guys, and also make sure if you guys have any other examples, I would love to hear them and we can like dive into them. But it's like, even if someone says something, like with me being on here, like the amount of trolls that I get, the amount of rude things that people have said, it's like my mission is so, it becomes more clear every single day that all I do is just press block and just keep it pushing for the people that really need to hear this information. Now, maybe me 7 years ago would have been way too intimidated by the trolls, because I just wasn't. Well, number one, I wasn't used to being online on a live. This is like, I feel like lives have been around for maybe 10 years now. But you know, it like took me a while to muster up the courage. And then now, like where I'm at, it's just like, I'm just like block. And it just doesn't matter. Like you could say the weirdest, meanest things. Like you're the ugliest, stupidest hoe on the planet. Like it just it doesn't matter. And you just block, and then you just continue on. And it comes from me knowing why I'm on social media. Like I'm not on social media to be exalted, right? So like if you have a goal or something in mind, or something that you're really passionate about, it should be because it's your passion, it's your gift that you want to give the world, right? Like it's your uplifting of humanity. Like you should really think about whatever you're trying to do on that level. Like when I give this gift, it's going to uplift. Like when I give this gift, it's going to transform people's lives. As I get better at pulling out my passions and my gifts, it's going to make other people ignite their passions and gifts. Like whatever it is for you, right? It should be like, you should journal about it. And even if you don't feel confident about it yet, like just journal about it, meditate about it, pray about it, and just have it be so strong in your field that like nothing really can shake it. And of course you're going to continue to get tested, but that just means it's just another layer that you have to like continue to like get strong at. So again, like before, I would be, now you see me, I get online looking wild. Like, I don't care. I'll wake up in the morning, take my shower, but it's like your face is still kind of puffy from the morning. It's like you kind of have to like decompress like after sleeping. But take a shower, cleaned up, ready to go, and then I'll just pop on live in the car and I'll have a bun on the way to the gym, zero makeup on, and just like be talking about whatever I'm talking about. Because it's like my why is deeper than like me being exalted for, oh, you look good, you look good. It's like, I don't, like, those things are nice, you know what I mean? And of course, when you go online and you look a certain way, like if you have your hair and your makeup done, people are going to be exalting you the whole time. But you got to want it so bad to where it just doesn't even matter. So that's just like a side note about just giving like my quick example um, of where I'm at. It says it's developing identity virtually. You're a pioneer. I appreciate that. I think at the end of the day, we all have, truly, everybody is literally born with some kind of gift. And sometimes the gift is like really scary for a lot of people. Like they're scared of their own gift. They're scared of, because the gift is going to require you to be like, to hold yourself accountable. It's going to require you to grow, right? It's going to require you to put yourself out there. It's going to require you to do certain things. So then it's safer just to say, you know what, people, like, it's safer to like have cognitive dissonance, like just, or like just focus on like when it didn't work for people. And it's like, well, see, they tried it and it didn't work. So like, I'm just going to go ahead and stay safe and like work at this job and like be on the register. And again, that's fine if like, because I do know people like that, like they just really enjoy kind of like the day-to-day tasks and like seeing how fast they can get done, or like they give themselves like little goals, whatever, as long as you're doing what's best for you. That's all, that's the point of this whole conversation. But for most people that, where I know that doing a job where it's like maybe like a casual retail job or a casual like fast food job or a casual whatever it is, or like a job at the mall or something like that, and like, but you really want to be doing X, Y, and Z. You really want to get into, you really want to be a lawyer, or you really want to maybe get, whatever it is, or maybe you want to pivot and you want to become a professional dancer, right? Just do it. Like, be so deep and solid in your own spirit. Like, have this pillar, like this imaginary pillar of white light that's just so solid going through your body of, this is what I'm doing. And like, if anyone's not ready to hop on, they can just be repelled and bounce away. Like, even better, because I don't have to try to carry more people and try to convince anybody. You've already convinced yourself. So yes, you're gonna fail. Yes, you're gonna look weird. Yes, you're gonna stutter. Yes, you're gonna mess up on something. Yes, maybe you won't get the job the first 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times that you apply for that particular position. But it just doesn't matter. Like, as long as you're going after something that you want to do, it's better to know that you went after something and you gave it your all than to just always wonder. That's the one thing I can say. My grandmother, I took care of her for many years, and one thing that she would always say, she's like, I wish I would do my art. I'm going to get back into my art. I'm going to get back into my art. I'm going to get back into my art. And she never got back into her art. And when she passed, she has all these beautiful art pieces, and then there's a whole section of them that were never done, that were never sold, that were never all, and I feel blessed to see that tiny little aspect, because she's an amazing like art, like I'm talking about museum level art, not like, oh, like you're pretty good, like, oh yeah, you're good. No, she was like museum level. And she just kind of like never went for it, and she was really dependent on like other people's opinions and needing help and da. So anyways, I think that has just really ignited me to say, look, like, it just doesn't matter. Like, even if you keep failing over and over and over again, like, you can leave this earth knowing that you left it on the table. Like, that's like one of the things, I love watching Kobe Bryant interviews, because it's like, that he really literally gave it his all in his craft, in his life's work, in his gift that he dropped onto the planet, right? So just, everybody has that level. Everybody has a Kobe Bryant passion that they're supposed to be bringing to the planet, right? Every single person has Michael Jordan level, everyone has Serena Williams, and it might be, Yours might be baking cakes. Like you might be the Serena Williams of baking cakes. And like you've always wanted to do a cake business. And like you just keep not doing it because you're like, oh, I don't really know where to start. Where do I sell? I don't know how to do a website. I don't know how to do this. I'm just going to like keep making them. But like I wish I could just like not work this job anymore and just do that. Like, and then your whole life, all of a sudden you're in your rocking chair and you're like, I really wish I would have just done. And I saw it. I literally saw that with my grandmother, bless her heart. And I just was like, whoa, like she literally left me the gift of just keep going after whatever it is, regardless of if it's ever really achieved. Because you know who talks about this is Bob Proctor. He's amazing. Bob Proctor, he passed away, I think, in the last year or two. Amazing, like life coach about like manifestation and going after your dreams and all that stuff. And one thing he said that really resonated with me was, you are successful when you're on the path of going toward what you want. It doesn't mean, it's not like we think about, oh, like you're successful now that you won the Nobel Peace Prize, or like you are now successful because you won the Grammy. So, and it's like everything seems so far away for most people. Like, oh, you're now successful because like you got the highest achievement in your company. No, like you're successful if you are headed in the direction of your dreams and goals. You are a success. That's successful. That's a successful life. Most people are not living successfully. They're just living mundane, day to day, and always living in their brain thinking that they wish that they were somewhere else. And they're physically doing this, or they're physically doing, you know, whatever it is. Again, I'm not saying like typing is bad or being at a desk is bad. Just in general, like they'll be spending their minutes in the now, and their brain will be wishing they were somewhere else. When really you can just collapse. You can collapse that and do it. You can collapse it and do it, right? So let me just read some of your comments really quickly. You're right headspace or you're in the right headspace with everything going on in the world. Anxiety is on the rise. Yep, that's true. That's a whole nother level. I feel like we need more talks like this because nobody is talking like this on YouTube Live. I appreciate that. I love talking about stuff like this. Facts when it comes to leaving people alone, not on the same journey as you, sometimes even family. Yep, damn everything. I appreciate it. I'm happy it's clicking because it's time. Like it's time because we don't have time. It's time because we literally don't have time. Let me just see what TikTok is saying. I'm black and Punjabi. My mom is black and my dad is Punjabi. So yeah, I mean, again, any other questions or anything that anyone wants to add to this topic, because it's, you know, it's serious. Don't play with your life. Don't mess with your life. Like even for me, just to give you a personal example, I've always wanted to do what I'm doing right now. And then one day I just was like, just push live and start talking. Because I do this all the time in my careers that I've had, in my jobs that I've had, in groups that I've had, in teams that I've been on. I'm usually the go-to person in my family, and I'm like, okay. So then I started like creating like these live training. I guess you can call even like this one. This was a pop-up, like random, but you know, this is like almost like a live training. So I do a lot of live trainings, and then I bundled it up and packaged them up, and if you click my link tree, they're there. And I want to continue to sell mini courses like this to actually like create real transformation in your life, so you can get to the ease and the flow and the peace and just feel really like proud of yourself. Even because like even the days that it's hard, you're like, it just doesn't even matter that it's hard because I have a dopamine hit from just going after what I want. Right? Like it just doesn't matter. Because a lot of times, if you read Atomic Habits, it's a really, really excellent book. A lot of the masters, a lot of the Olympian level athletes, a lot of the greats, a lot of the moguls and stuff, they do the same thing every day. It's boring. The stuff they actually do it would be considered on the outside boring. But for them, they have an end goal. Like they're so crystalline clear on exactly what they're trying to achieve, that every single day is just a tiny tweaking of their craft, of their gift, of their passion, of their life's work of them wanting that gold medal. It's like every single tiny thing is just a little bit. That's the little baby wins that compound on top of each other to get the gold medal. And then, you know, of course, if it was that easy, everybody would like be doing that, and that's why everyone's not. But everyone has their own version of that, right? Like I don't even care to have an Olympic gold medal. Like I don't like to run. I'll do walk run to like, you know, get my hit cardio in, get in and get out. But like, just no, I mean, how, you know, it's just like everyone has their version of a gold medal in their life. And as long as you're just headed in that way, you're successful. So if you see your gold medal, whatever that is for you, and you've decided to go toward it, you are successful. You're not successful once you get it, because a lot of times that's what is a deterrent. So of course, you know, people can have a different outlook on that, but Bob Proctor is where I heard that from. And it resonated with me. It's like you are successful if you are going after what you were trying to achieve or whatever your goals are. Let's see, everything aesthetically pleasing for me. Oh, I appreciate it. Right? So that's the biggest thing that I wanted to talk about today while I was having lunch and my tea. And I'm gonna, of course, like go work out. But is there any comments or questions about what I'm talking about that you would like me to answer? I feel like you could, I don't know why over on YouTube it just makes the thing disappear. It says, I feel like you could retrain a lot of people just by the way you're talking, and you think different. I appreciate that. That's what I love. And if you guys truly want to, you're enjoying this and you want to tap in, I've helped a couple people even transform like on these TikTok lives, which is really, really dope. I'm like in a lot of gratitude and just a humility from like being able to come on here and talk. And there's been people that have hit me up in the DM and been like, oh my God, like I'm in tears. And again, this is not that level, but that stuff lights me up. Like, I just think it's just so dope to see someone like figure it out for themselves. Like, oh, like, this is what I should be doing, or like it is possible. Because again, I worked in corporate. I'm 37. I just turned 37 less than a week ago. So I have a little bit of experience behind me, right? Like I'm not a super elder, but like I have, you know, I'm like I have some stripes, some good stripes on my jacket, okay? And I've done the corporate thing. I appreciate that. But you know, I've done the corporate thing. So like I understand where it's like you kind of just get very, very comfortable, right? Like just being in a mundane day-to-day, I'm just gonna get, you know, my little 5% raise every year, and hopefully I get promoted, and hopefully I get help the company hit their company goals, and you know, I hope that, you know, I get a good review on my performance review, and I hope. And then, you know, and I was doing it for, you know, because I was over 30 full-time people, 400 part-time people. So I've been training and developing people for many years. And I'm not in corporate anymore, but I have a ton of experience in that, like in this field of being able to kind of get you to open up your eyes a little bit. And I've just noticed a theme in the last, I would say in the last 15 to 17 years of me being in an experience of like leadership or some kind of management or training and developing. And it's just like this self-doubt, self-sabotage, caring what people think. And it's just, it gets to a point where you literally really have to figure out when it's just going to stop for yourself. My TikTok is trash, but I would, how often do you do inner work to move through the mental baggage? I do it every single day. Every day. Like I have my little, like this sits on my bed. This, you guys can't see it, but like this is like my little miniature, whatever it's called, like little table for bed. And I just have, like this one's just like my, like I have another one that's like really thick and pretty, and like I really like go, like organize my life in that one. But this is my, like if I just need to put something on paper right now, I have this. Like I always have some kind of notepad near me. every single morning I do meditative work every single morning. Like, it's just, I can start my day without it. You actually you figure out how to even kind of do some kind of meditation. Even if you have to get up and go somewhere, you still are like kind of in this calm state, praying, talking to yourself, just speaking positivity on your life for the day, all that stuff. But as far as inner work, it's every single day for me. And if you don't know what inner work is, just find some type of reflective routine for yourself, reflective ritual for yourself. So for me, I personally love journaling. I love meditating. I love actually working, like, I'm very spiritual, so I actually believe in like chakras and things like that. So I work with my chakras. There's individuals that I are amazing on YouTube. I follow their guided meditations. But I've been journaling since I was like 5 years old. Like when I was like able to write like sentences, so maybe I was a little older, but like the second I was able to write sentences, like I had like a little diary, and I always like wrote in some kind of form, way or shape or form, my entire life. So, and if something's triggering you, it means that it's like inner work is knocking on your door. Anything that triggers you, like, we kind of live in a society now where it's like, oh, well, being triggered is normal. Like, it's fine. Like, you just get triggered, you pop off, and it's fine. Or, well, people just need to stop being so sensitive. Or, I'm triggered, let me just cool down for a second. And then it's like, but that's actually like your field, like your energy field, God, whatever, however you want to think about it, saying, hey, look, like, there's some things you got to work on. There's some things you got to work on. There's some things you got to work through so you can transmute it out. Like, we don't get, like, really, it's not supposed to, we don't get triggered and then like we shove it back down. Like, we should be getting triggered and then like letting it up. Like, that's how I imagine it. Because like sometimes, like, we all have our things. None of us are perfect. We all have our things that frustrate us, annoy us, make us sad, make us pissed off, make us upset. Something from like the past, whatever it is. And then all of a sudden it's like heavy, and what we want to do is we want to numb it, we want to push it down, we want to put on Netflix, people, we want to go to happy hour, and then sadly some people go into some other heavier vices, with like abusing substances and things like that. But we should really be transmuting, like literally like letting it out, like breathing through it. Like, there's different breathing things that you can do, and we do it naturally. Like, our body already has its intelligence. Like, when you're scared or you're nervous about something, or something scary, just something traumatic just happened, you're like, your body knows that it needs to breathe. So we only think like, oh, well, that just happens when it's a scary movie and my heart's beating fast and I'm breathing fast. Or, oh, well, that only happens when, like, we just think like it only is supposed to happen like 5 to 7 times. But anytime you're triggered, like, there's ways you can breathe through that. So that's a whole nother level and a whole nother conversation, and really letting things bubble up in your mind and becoming an observer of that thing, and saying, okay, why is this thing bubbling up? Oh, wow, I am really still offended by that. Okay, why am I so offended by that? Okay, that makes sense. All right, well, is this a true statement? Like, am I really X, Y, and Z? No, I guess I'm really not. Or, you know what? I actually am a little bit. And that's why I'm a little triggered, because they're right. They called me out on something that I'm embarrassed about. And I'm not anymore. But yeah, that one thing that they said actually was true at that moment. And I was embarrassed, or, whatever it is. And you take it and you just work through it. And you train. Some people, and again, that's like a lighthearted version of what I'm saying. But it could be something where you need to cry for hours, or it might take months of inner work. And then there's some things that are really heavy that you could transmute in less than a few minutes. It really just depends on like where you're at with that. And you know how they say like, let it, like, give it to God? Like, that's basically what you're doing. And I don't know if you're religious. I have no desire to debate about anything like that. But however you want to think about it, it just needs to be released. It needs to be let go. It needs to be like, the lesson needs to be seen, realized, understood, and like moved out, because we need to have more room for the peace, the tranquility, the ease, the flow, the harmony, the for other dope shit like in life, like other fun things, like focusing on like, people are over here sitting pissed off for hours and hours, and then they could be researching a really dope new restaurant that just opened, and then you could go and enjoy a nice amazing meal with somebody. Like, you know, like there's just, we have an opportunity to choose what we want to do with the minutes on in our life on this planet. And are we going to just want to live in trigger land, like all, like the rest of our life, and just stay there and just be like, well, this is how I am. This is how I see life. It is what it is. This is my personality. And it's like, but is it really? Or are you just like wanting to stay there because it's harder to transmute whatever is like triggering you so much? So again, I've been through it. You know, I've definitely been there. So it gets to a point where you just have to, everything's just ownership. Everything is, you realize that you can control, just control what you can control. And when you just focus on what you can control, everything around you starts to like mirror what you're doing. So if you find that things just always happen to work out bad in your life, well, I mean, are you reaffirming that all the time? You know, is that what reality for you? Oh, things just don't ever work out for me. Well, things just don't ever, like, I just can't figure this out. Well, I don't know. People just always end up figuring out before me. And like, if you're affirming that, then that's just what your reality is going to be. Like, it's called the reticular activating system, I believe it's called. It's like, this is like a scientific thing. It's also spiritual, things like that. I also think we live in a dope time where spirituality and science is like merging. But literally, like, your brain will only see what you are reinforcing. So it's kind of like when you see a yellow car, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, there's a yellow car. I don't really see the yellow cars. And all of a sudden your brain starts to see a bunch of yellow cars. It's like that. And then like all of a sudden, like the red ones and the blue ones kind of start to fade, and you start seeing like the yellow ones a lot more. It's like our brain just picks that. And we have control to say, no, brain. I know I keep affirming this, but what I really mean is, I know I'm going through a tough time, but these are just amazing opportunities for me to figure this out, so that way I become an expert at this thing, or I am excellent at transmuting, or I am excellent at inner work, or I am, you know, I'm actually going to learn, like, I'm actually excited to learn about how to turn things from a negative to a positive. Like right now it's negative and it really sucks and I'm really upset about it. But I know like the next time this comes up, like I'll actually be able to look at it from a different perspective. So like, I don't need to keep learning the lessons over and over. Like, I'm okay. Like, thank you, brain, for doing what, you know, thank you. But I'm ready to learn the lesson, God, and just like move on. So transmute, but you have to have some kind of, practice, and it has to be consistent. That would just be my opinion. That's, you know, I don't know if that's like a scientific thing or a psychology thing, but it just makes sense to me why. And again, make sure you guys are liking over here on YouTube and over here on TikTok. Make sure you guys are liking as you guys are coming in. Make sure you guys are subscribing. Definitely speaking my language. I appreciate, I mean, yeah, you know, it's like, it's just 2023, and I always feel so cheesy saying, okay, this is the year, but really it's just today. Like, this moment is the time. Like, every single, like, we're only always living in millions and nanoseconds of now. Like, YouTube, TikTok, like the individuals that are looking at me right now, and I'm looking at you guys, we're just all living in this second right now. Everything that we're thinking about over here, the bubbles that are popping up over here of things that we're thinking about in the future, moments that are kind of going off in the past, those are all just like fractals of like things that we want to achieve, things that we've gone through. But the whole time, all that is swirling around, the real thing is just us here, like this second. And so the more we can like, and you don't want to be spending too much time back there in the past, because in like these seconds, like right now, like maybe you wouldn't even be able to really hear me, and then you wouldn't catch the message, and then you would just keep going forward and be pissed off about something. Or instead, because you aren't worried about the past, you're able to be here with me right now, and you're able to say, oh wow, that's actually like, okay, yeah, like I think I see what she's saying, and then we can like vibe, right? So it's to your benefit to release. It's to your benefit to like not be just sitting pissed off or like upset or holding on to things in the past. Like, it just does nothing for you. It does not serve you any kind of way, because it literally isn't here. I used to say this all the time. I'm like, the past, like we act like the past is like, this is a cup holder. Like we act like the past is like a physical thing that we have to like it's like just as physical as you guys see this. Like we act like it's right here, and we're just like, yeah, like here's the past, but like it's not. Like it's in our brains. So if you're harboring on something, it's time to release it. If your family member did that one thing, it's time to release it. If the person said something, looked at you sideways at work, it's time to release it, or it's time to have that conversation. Like whatever it is, like you be serious enough about your life and about your life force energy. That's a lot of life force energy that you're spilling out to something that happened in the past, or caring what people think, or caring about how someone looked at you. Like people are gonna, and I don't know if like I used to dance, be on a professional dance team, and like there was times that I've messed up before, like during the routine, and like people were like laughing or like looking, and I don't know if it's just the performer in me where you just get back on beat, and then you just literally like don't care about what they're thinking, and then you just move on with the rest of the day. Like I got so used to that, like it just, I'd be out in public and like if someone's looking at me weird or giving me the side eye, like I just don't even notice. And I would be with other people and they'd be like, oh, they're looking at us weird, or they just roll their eyes at us when we walk by, or they're staring. And I'm like, I don't even see it. Like my brain doesn't even see it because I just don't even, okay, so they're staring. Like, okay, so they're looking. Okay, maybe they're talking. Like, are we going to really, are you saying something? Like, this is a stranger. Are you saying something to me? Excuse me. Like, that's all that is a waste of your minutes on the planet. It's a waste of your time. And we do it so much. Like that's why like if I see something I don't agree with or I don't like on social media, I'll do about one of two things, one of three things. I'll block if it's really, really bad. I will like do like a hiding, like I just won't have that kind of information pop up on my stuff. Or I'll just scroll past. Like it's so interesting to me that people will sit there and take the time to write out something and people aren't paying attention. All they're going to do is read it and not even really taking what you said. They're just going to be reading it and rebuttaling every single line, and it's a rebuttal. And then the other person is now reading that rebuttal, and then they're not reading it to take it in and really ponder on it and reflect on it. They're taking it in like, oh, yep, I'm about to say this for that line. Yep, I'm about to say this. And it's just like, we just all wasted an hour of our time when we could be learning how to trade stocks. We could be building up our portfolio system. We could be FaceTiming a niece or nephew or having fun with our children. We could be researching, reading a book. Like we could be going on a walk with a loved one, having an amazing time. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like people, I don't know if we're just not in touch with ourselves and not in touch with nature. Oh shoot, I just spilled this whole thing. Right? Where's my eye? What are you guys saying? It says, thanks for the perspective. Please, this is the frequency you need to stay on because this is what I need. Some of it comes from childhood. Yep. Wow, you move so fast. I'm gonna keep missing your lives. So yeah, guys, I mean, this is the energy that I'm on. This is the energy that I hope that, you know, we all can get on and just kind of like move on from, or at least be taking half a percentage closer to like taking our life back, getting back in control, not caring so much about what people think. Shut the social media down for if you're like so triggered. Like, you need to get in front of being triggered by human beings that you have never met before on the internet. Like, I don't know if it's just because of the era of me. Like, I'm 37, so I was around during, like, my first experience of social media was MySpace, and it was like actually really fun, right? So like, I think now with like the younger generation or they're like in high school with this, and it's just like, whoa, like the amount of how much they care is just like, it's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking. Thank you guys so much. You know, it's heartbreaking because it's like you're literally all your youthful, amazing, beautiful years and talent of your life on caring what people think. Don't forget Black Planet. Oh yeah, Black Planet. I wasn't on that for whatever reason. Oh, you know why I wasn't on it? Because I had a boyfriend in college. Or else I probably would have been on it. But yes, Black Planet. That is funny. That is funny. So does anyone have anything to add? Any questions? If you guys love you know, me talking about this kind of stuff, be sure to either like go, so click the link tree, right? Click the link tree. Oh, you were never on it. If you go to, so here, over here on TikTok, click the link in my bio, look at my other social media accounts. You can leave ideas, like slide in my DM with an idea of something that you want me to dive deep into, or a live topic that you want me to talk about, or just leave a comment under this video. I don't know if the comments here stay on YouTube. I'm not really sure, but you can, just go on another video. This is so ghetto, but go on another video and just comment with an idea, or comment in the community tab area over on YouTube. Or again, I have Instagram, so you can like also slide in my Instagram over there. But again, like, this is what I love to do. I've had a ton of experience training and developing people. I love to be an avid reader about this stuff. I look at podcasts after doctors that have podcasts, after psychologists that have podcasts about this. I don't know what it is. I just love seeing like the light bulb go off for people. Like, I love like sparking people's like light. Even if it's just like, it's not so huge, but it's just like that little bit of a, like, I think of, you know, like they say like a ship, right? Like a ship is like in the ocean, and you just turn the ship like 1 degree, and you don't notice it at all at first, but then all of a sudden, like, the ship now goes out, and then so where it was going this way at first, and then it starts to slowly, so that was the original path, but then now they're here. So, and you don't really see it until, you know, of course, over time. That's what I love. So yeah, so definitely, you know, slide in my DM, let me know about what you guys want to talk about. And you know, let's get into it. Also too, really quick, tap in with me on my other social media accounts. Make sure, again, you guys are sharing over here on TikTok. So I'm gonna put it, I don't know how to do it over here on YouTube, but again, if you look at my other descriptions on my other videos, it'll happen, or also on TikTok. If you guys want to dig in deeper, if you guys go to the link tree, I have all my live replays. I only when they're like training style, I only put them over into my bundle, my live replay bundle. So it's the very first one right here. So where I talk about stuff like this, right? So I get into stuff all about training and development and all of that. And right now, if you use the code that's right here, you get 20% off. But it's all live replays that are training, kind of like trainings like this. And this is the curriculum that's on there. So if you want to dive deep with me, if you want to see this live replay will not be, it won't be put on YouTube. Okay, so some of these replays I put them on, sometimes I don't, and I put them only in here. So click the link in my bio if you want to check that out. But yeah, any other questions before I hop off? I don't know, we'll see. We'll see. But, or it might just be like the first 10 minutes, and then the rest will be put over into the bundle. Which you can basically consider it like a mini course, because if you literally have your pencil and pad out, or your note section on your phone, you could literally be doing transformative moments in your life with my lives. All right, guys. Well, so I don't see any other questions coming in. I appreciate all of you guys. I had a beautiful, beautiful time with you guys, talking about this topic. And make sure, again, you guys are liking and subscribing. I will be popping on. Keep the bell notification on, because I will be popping on a lot more. I want to go, I kind of want to go daily, but we'll see. I'm not able to, sometimes I'm not able to do that, but I want to come on very, very often. So definitely tap in with me. Also, I am coming out with a Patreon. So if you guys want to support me, so I can, continue to turn this into something full time, so I could be helping and transforming people, I would love that. So if you want to tap in with, I don't have a Patreon yet, but I am going to be getting a Patreon, so you guys can tap in there. Also, if you guys want to ask me a question, like you guys have a personal situation going on, I do. If you click the link tree, if you go, it's not on YouTube yet, but go to my Instagram. It's the same name, cianasingh. Over here on TikTok, it's the same thing. It's just in my link tree. And like the fourth tab down, it says ask me a question, and you can ask me a question, and I'm happy to and you can really go in with your story. And then I'm happy to answer you back with your particular problem and help you come up with a solution. So, alrighty. Oh, breaking patterns. Okay, well, I will write that down. That'll probably be one of my next lives. I'll write that down. So, breaking patterns. Any other suggestions? All right, guys. Well, I'm going to go ahead and hop off. I'm going to have some lunch. I'm super hungry. But I loved our conversation today. I appreciate all of you guys. Definitely tap in with my links. And I will, and again, if you want to dive in deep, there's other mini courses. Decide today. If you need some more help, tap in with my mini course with the link that's in the link tree. All right. Talk to you guys soon. Bye.